Hello everyone, the Klaus here, and today guys I'm going to review a Megabloks Dragons set released in 2007 in the US and in 2008 in Europe, and today I'm going to review a Battle Rim booster pack or a minifigure pack which was released as part of the Plasma Dragons subsim. So the Plasma Dragons subsim, for those who do not know, is kind of a reboot of the Dragons universe once again after Battlestorm, which was also a reboot because it featured a new universe with new armies. Well, here it's not really the case because the two armies are some which was previously released before. So, for example, the Volgen and the Draga, but this time we're going to see two new things, which is why I call this subsim a reboot. First, the minifigs, because yes, before that we got this type of minifigs for like 6-7 years, and Megabloks decided to change them and kind of make some new type of figures. We're going to see that of course in the review. And the second point is that Megabloks is going to try to make a more adult game and they're going to add some rules, some cards, and kind of like a role-playing game in fact with their new figures and their new stuff. So that's why I call this subsim a kind of a reboot, even if it used the same names as the Plasma Dragons released in 2006. But well, that's as you can see, here's the box. Of course, like previous Megabloks Dragons blocks, it's quite original in terms of shape and also colors with the nice shiny effect. Notice the logos, the set number, parts list, stuff like that. Also, it shows you that you're going to have 8 figures in this battle pack, and also that this is the 5th battle pack because Megabloks released 12 pack of figures. So you just have to count 12 by 8. It's a lot, like 96 if I'm correct, figures. So really tons of them. On the side, and also notice the open space which showed you the figures. In fact, because yes, one also important thing to notice is that the figures do not came assembled. In fact, it was up to you to put them together because kind of like a model kit, the figures were while the parts for the figures were all linked to a runner. I don't really have the name for that, but well, you had to cut them yourself and then to assemble them yourself. So that's also one interesting thing, the fact that the figures came not assembled like a model kit. But of course, you didn't have to use any glue. Notice that on the side it shows you that you're supposed to collect 30 minifigs. So I don't really know if some figs were released multiple times, because like I said, with 12 packs you're supposed to get like 96 figures. If I'm correct, yes. And then also it shows you that in this set you're going to have 3 Plasma Duel cards, like I said, to add to the overall minifig game. So here it shows you the 30 figures you're supposed to collect. You will notice the difference of colors between some of the soldiers from the same armies, and also the difference of colors from the different shields. As you can see, sometimes they are orange, other times they are blue, and the same can be said for the Volgen side. Sometimes it's lime green and sometimes it's just dark green, kind of black. Some other sets from the subsim, so mid-sized dragons and some play sets, as you can see, which will use in fact many parts from the Battlestorm subsim. So nothing really new in terms of parts this time, just the colors which will be different. Of course, they will not rely on blue and red unlike the Battlestorm subsim. And well, I don't have the cards, neither I have the well, I do not have the cards, and also I don't really have the instruction booklet, so I can show you this sadly, and also I can't really explain you all the rules of this new game because it's quite complicated, and I didn't really bother to read them anyway, so I'm just going to skip on the figures. So remember that the Draga first looked like that, as you can see. And now we're going to see how the new Draga looks like with this new type of figures. So first, we're going to take this part, which as you can see is a mold with the 2 legs and the waist or the hips linked together, as you can see. Notice the color shade also, which is silver with some kind of a strange color, which kind of look like some type of green gold, as you can see, which is also used throughout the part. Then we're going to put the body and head part, which is one and unique mold, as you can see. Also notice that these 8 figures are all different in terms of mold. They will all have different molds for the legs, body and head, and arms also, but they will all have the same type of hands. So yes, excuse me guys, I'm going to maybe first modify, yes, like that, show you clearly what it looks like. Now we're going to link the arms. So first the left one. As you can see, it's all mounted on little ball jumps. Second one. And finally the hands, which are of course useful to grab some weapons. And here you go, the figure is finished, so it looks like that. But of course now we have to link some weapons. And all the weapons and shields are new molds. So for example, this sword, as you can see, which is a new mold and which is made with 2 colors. And also notice that these weapons are the same scale of the old figure, so you can put these weapons on the old figures, there will be no problems. Then the same can be said for the shield, as you can see, which is a new mold, so trans orange and some silver details. And now we are nearly done with our figure, and because like I said, it's supposed to be kind of like a role-playing game with some figures and stuff like that, kind of like a Warhammer, well, we're going to use some socle, as you can see, and well, I guess it's called socle. Well, in France it's called socle, but I don't have the name, the exact name for that in English. And also notice there's a logo which will change on the different parts. For example, if I take this one, you have a little sword. So I guess it was useful for the game. And here we go, the figure is finished. So if you want a little comparison size between 2 figures, well, here you go. As you can see, this one is obviously smaller. But apart from that, well. And then if you want another comparison size with a plasma dragon, because remember, the plasma dragons is the name of this sub-sim, but it was also the name of sub-sim 2006, which featured only dragons with a new type of articulations and stuff like that. So here's one of them, which I already reviewed for those who want to know. And so at first, between these 2 things, well, the dragons still looked impressive, but not that much, as you can see. And of course now, because of the new scale, they really seems more impressive with this new type of figure. So it's quite cool because now you could just buy at the time plasma dragons, and it will still be impressive in comparison to the little figures that you got in this sub-sim. So well, quite nice. And also in terms of articulations, before I continue the other figures, notice that this one just got 1 point of rotation on the head, which can turn on the sides, 1 point of rotation per shoulder, but nothing on the hands, and also 1 point of rotation for the legs. So this means the legs could be turned independently. And well, here in fact, we're going to have 2 more articulations on this figure, but also we're going to have 2 articulations which will be where we're going to delete kind of erase 2 articulations. So this means that now this guy cannot turn his head because it's the same mold used for the body and the head, so he cannot turn the head unlike the previous figures, and also the legs cannot be turned because, like I said, they are also linked on the same molds. So in fact, this is the 2 articulations which will be put off, but we're going to have 2 articulations. The first one is the hand, which can finally turn after 7 years, so it's quite cool. And the other articulation is the ball joint on the pelvis part, so it means you can turn the thing, if it didn't like that, you can turn this on the side. So it's quite useful, but well, of course, because it's supposed to be a role-playing game, you are not really supposed to have the legs which can be moved, but I still find this I think it's a little drawback, honestly, because if you just don't want to play the game, you want to just play with your figure, it's really bad that you cannot move the legs. At least that's my opinion. But once again, they are pretty well detailed, and like I said, all the figures have different parts, so it's really cool. But well, for now, let's talk about the Volgens, because we're going to have 8 figures in this set. 4 of them will be Draga, and 4 of them will be Volgen. So here is the old figure of the Volgen, so it looks like that, and now it will look like that. So of course it's the same type of parts, use the same type of articulations, but as you can see, obviously different colors and different molds, and it's pretty cool. So notice all the little details. And also these guys come with a weapon. This time it doesn't really feature a silver color, but white one, which is quite cool. So it seems like the weapon has been made out of bones, for example. And then the shield, which also got a new shape, and you can notice that this shield is still used nowadays, for example, for the Spider-Man minifigures as a web shield, even if it looks quite stupid for me. But well, here you have the original part in its original color, and also this part, which is green. And as you can see, the logo has changed. And of course, the articulations are quite the same. So, well, I think now it's the time to show you the 6 other figures. So, well, we're going to stick on the Draga. And first, you have an elf, as you can see with its head, which got obviously a bow and this type of shield. So, notice all the different molds for the legs, for the head and the body, and also for the arms, which are all different. So, it's quite it's really cool, and it's of course really well detailed. And also notice that this guy got in fact 2 different arms, because this one is not the same as this one, so an asymmetrical arm, which is pretty, it's really a nice idea. I didn't notice that in my French review, but it's a cool idea, and well done. Then also notice that you have 6 figures in this set, but you just have 8 figures in this set, but you just have 6 shields, and so this means 2 of these guys will have 2 weapons. So here's the case with this guy, which got 2 axes. Of course, it's a new mold once again, and once again, new mold also for the different parts of the body. So here we go. And in these 8 figures, we're going to have one of those guys which will have a transparent or translucid weapon, and this is the case with this one, which got also a new mold for the shield. As you can see, it's a circle-shaped one, or round-shaped one, excuse me, and his weapon, which will be kind of like a scepter, but in a transparent orange, which is quite cool. And of course, the mold is a new one, and it looks pretty good. Plus, once again, it got 2 asymmetrical arms, because this one is, as you can see, a straight one, but this one is a bended one, as you can see right there. So, well, quite cool. And now it's time to move on with the Volgen. So first, here we go with this guy. So once again, new molds of weapons, of body parts, and stuff like that. I'm not really sure that this one got... Oh, well, yes, maybe the arms are a little different on this one. I'm not really that sure, so I will not say anything. Here we go. Then the third one, which will have 2 weapons. And well, this one looks quite, I have to admit, disproportionate, because you can see the legs really seems thin and small in comparison to the part of the body which looks quite big. Even the arms looks like they're going to fall down and touch the feet. So while it's, yeah, sometimes in terms of proportion, it's not that good, but most of the figures are well done. But this one, well, not that much, in fact, if you want my opinion. And the last guy, which will have one of the other type of mold for the shield, which also looks quite cool. New, of course, mold for the weapon. And here you go. New parts all over the place. And I think that's all for those guys, so I'm going to put them all together. Well, here you go. The box. And I'm just going to yes. So if you want a little sum up about this this pack of figures, and well, another sum up about this new type of figures, well, the bad points first, the complaints. Well, the first one I will have is the fact that you have to assemble and cut the parts yourself. I found it quite stupid because, well, it's kind of look like, it's kind of seems it's supposed to be for a little more adult toy and stuff like that, but in fact it's just to reduce the production cost of the figures, to have them unassembled. So well, it's a little fun, but not that much. Seriously, it's when it comes a little dull really quick. Second bad point, in my opinion, is the fact that they put off some articulation. So of course it's cool to have the hands articulated and the waist articulated, but seriously they could have just keep maybe the legs articulated. Of course it will be really hard to make the legs turn, but seriously I think it's really a big drawback in comparison to the previous fig, because well, the previous figures were quite limited, but at least you can make them look like they won. In fact, they won, they work, stuff like that. And here you cannot do that because these figures are mostly based on a role-playing game, which of course the figures are not articulated at all. So well, I don't really know. I find it a little sad. In fact, a shame that they did not decide to keep the articulations for the legs. And except for that, I think that's the only drawbacks I have. Like I said, sometimes you have some problems of proportions between the legs and the body, kind of with this guy, for example. But apart from that, I think that except these little problems, they are great minifigures, because at least Megabloks tried something new. They tried to be different than their previous figures. So of course, you might like it or not. It's all about your taste and opinion. But at least they tried something new. And well, even if, like I said, I don't really like the articulations, at least they are pretty well detailed, like I said, so many full of little details which are quite gorgeous. And also they all got different mods, at least for this pack. Of course, I think that the same mod will be recolored throughout the 12 figures pack, but at least when you buy a figure pack, it seems that you're going to have all 8 different mods for the arms, the legs, body and head. So it's really cool. The same can be said for the weapons also, and all the mods are really fine. And as you can see, some of them even have 2 different arms which are asymmetrical, so it's really great in my opinion. So great design, nice color scheme also, full of details, plus also kind of course it's a new, and Megabloks tries something new. And well, I think also that for those who want to play the game, it can be quite interesting with the different figures, the cards, the different castles and stuff. It can really be fun. So personally, I never played it, and I really never tried to understand the rules or even read them, so I can't really say if it's that fun or not. But I think that Megabloks really tried something new, tried something interesting. So for those who are into role-playing game with figures, I think this can be interesting if you have if you can find one of this type of pack. You read the rules and see if it's cool or not, if it's a nice role-playing game or not. But at least for the figures, they are pretty cool. I just missed the articulations on the legs, but apart from that, great designs, full of details, nice color scheme, and the new scale, which is a smaller scale than the previous figures, is really cool when you try to play with your plasma dragons, because well, the dragons nobody seems impressive in comparison. So well, great little things, and that will be all, guys. And also that will be all for my dragons video reviews, because you have to know that after this last sub-sim, well, in fact, Plasma Dragons was the last sub-sim of the dragons. They released a last set, which was a boat which featured a new army, which in fact used previous minifigures mod, so it was quite strange. So yes, they released this sub-sim, then a boat from nowhere, and that was the end of the dragon sub-sim. Then they released another medieval sim called Legends of King Arthur, which was quite interesting, and also which featured some dragons. And finally, they decided to reboot a third time their Dragons sim, but this time in a futuristic universe, and it was Dragons Universe. But I think you already know that by now because I reviewed many Dragons Universe sets because I'm a big fan of this sim. In fact, I think that's one of my favorite themes for these 2 last years. And with that said, just to explain you that it was my last Dragons video review, at least for the old sim and all sub-sims, because I do not have any more sets. And well, of course, if I bought some of them, because I'm still a big fan of this sim, I will of course review them. But for now, that's all about the Dragons sims, guys. So hope you enjoyed all these reviews. Hope you enjoyed this review, and of course, if you have any questions or comments about the Dragons sub-sims, Dragons sim, or this set in particular, feel free to ask them. I will happily answer them. And that said, well, that's all. So hope you enjoyed, guys, and see you later for another video review. Bye bye.